in Israel. An arrest warrant was issued for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister by the International Criminal Court. The charges, crimes against humanity, inhuman methods of warfare, starvation against the people of Gaza. And they say that there are reasonable grounds to believe they committed murder and persecution. Netanyahu's response is that this is an act of anti-Semitism, has one goal: to deter me, to deter us from exercising our natural right to defend ourselves. President Biden echoed it. Let me be clear once again, whatever the ICC might apply, there is no equivalence between Israel and Hamas. We will also stand with Israel against threats to its security. Now, Israel nor the United States are signatories to the ICC's charter, but that does not affect the ability of member countries to have a duty to act on that arrest warrant. So now the head of Israel is in the same position as Putin, where he's got to be careful about going to certain countries. Let's discuss the implication. Former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Michael Oren. Michael, how big a deal?
It's a very big deal, Chris. Good to be with you, but it's a dark night. It's a big deal because, first of all, yes, as you said, it equates Israel with Hamas, it equates Israel with Russia. It is the first democratic country in history to have this type of warrant issued against its leaders. It's unheard of, and that's really what makes it anti-Semitic. There's the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. It has a definition of anti-Semitism, which is accepted by more than 40 countries in the world and by a growing number of American states, that says holding Israel to a standard that's different than other democratic countries is by definition anti-Semitic. And this is precisely what the ICC has done. It's taken the Israeli democracy and treated it completely different than any other democracy in the world. But that's just the beginning of the danger, because what begins with Netanyahu as prime minister and Gallant as the former defense minister can then roll on. It's a slippery slope. Then it becomes generals. Then it becomes platoon commanders. And before you know it, it's the paratroopers and the infantry who can't go to Belgium and can't go to Canada and can't go to the Netherlands because they're wanted for war crimes.
I understand your concerns with the process and the reach, but what about the substance? Has Israel been killing too many for too long based on the concept of defending itself? Have they exceeded the threat profile?
Let me say, right off the bat, I'm not a spokesman for the Israeli government. I'm a citizen, and every Palestinian casualty is one too many. But if you look at the numbers, and even the Hamas numbers, you'll find that the ratio of combatants to civilian fatalities in Gaza is the lowest ratio of any conflict in modern military history. It is 1 to 1. For every combatant killed, there is a civilian killed. Again, that civilian's death is a tragedy, but it's caused by the fact that the Hamas is using these civilians as shields. It's not only fighting behind them, it's fighting under them in 400 miles of tunnels. When America fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, the lowest ratio America registered was 9 civilians to every combatant killed. It went higher and higher. I didn't see the United States being dragged to the ICC.
And no mention of the fact that the hostages have still not been returned. But this certainly complicates things for Israel's ability to operate through its leadership on the world stage. So we'll keep monitoring, and we'll see what this does also to galvanize the support for the terrorists that they're fighting against. Michael, thank you very much. I appreciate your perspective as always.
Thank you, Chris.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.